Welcome everybody to the 2021 Ocean Startup Challenge Awards, Building an Ocean Nation, celebrating Canada's ocean startups. Folks, I wish you could see the scene behind me. I'm at Cove right now. We set up here hoping that we could have this beautiful backdrop in our background here. The day is too beautiful. We can't fault Mother Nature for that, but I wish you could see the background because it is absolutely stunning, and I hope it's stunning wherever you are today. So folks, in January 2020, we embarked on a journey to make Canada the best place in the world to start, foster, and grow an ocean startup company. And you will see today, we are making really great progress towards that. But before we go any further, I want to introduce Keir Portress, who is in British Columbia this afternoon to provide the land acknowledgement. Keir has many roles he plays, but we met because he is on the board of the South Island Prosperity Partnership, an active ocean organization in Victoria. Keir, welcome. Thanks for joining us, and I'm turning it over to you for the land acknowledgement.
Yes, thank you, Don. So just as Don said, my name is Keir Portress. I'm Métis and Chinese. My mother is a Chinese immigrant, and my father is a proud Métis man, and I've had the great, responsibility of understanding and knowing who I am as a Métis person since I was really young. So that's been great. I grew up in Regina, Saskatchewan originally, and I've spent the last 13 years living and working in Victoria, BC, which is, the traditional territories of the Lekwungen people, also known today as Songhees and Esquimalt. Understanding that the Ocean Startup Project started in Atlantic Canada, reflecting the traditional territories and acknowledging the traditional territories of the Beothuk, the Mi'kmaq, the Innu, the Inuit, Maliseet, as well as the Passamaquoddy people out there. They've been taking care of those territories since time immemorial. But this project has grown farther than just the Atlantic region and the Maritimes, and has encompassed all of Canada. And I'd just like to, really acknowledge all the territories and the traditional territories of the people across Canada. In the north, the Inuit, and the many Indigenous nations along the Pacific as well. I think the work that this organization is doing is a great step in supporting all those nations and trying to find, a place for all of them within this network and within, that idea. So thank you for having us. And, I hope that everyone who's on this call is taking some time to, acknowledge where they're coming from and, what impact they have in those areas. So thank you.
Thank you, Keir. Really, really appreciate you coming on and giving that land acknowledgement and acknowledging all of Canada as part of this project and all of the people who are coming to us and into this project from across Canada. So thank you so much. We'll see you again in a couple of minutes. Folks, this is one of those days that it's really great to be part of the Ocean Startup Project, but also part of the ocean sector. Momentum is a word you're going to hear a few times this afternoon. The ocean startup ecosystem is really gathering steam. Inside the OSP, we've got Lab to Market, The Challenge, and CDL, and they're all seeing increased interest. But there is way more to this ocean startup ecosystem than the OSP. So many organizations in this country are stepping up and getting really engaged in the startup sector, and we are really excited. When we started this challenge journey, this specific ocean challenge journey, we received 170 plus applications. Our intention was to award 27 early stage companies funding and support. We brought in world-class judges to help us get it down to 27 from 170. And quite frankly, we just couldn't. The caliber of ideas and founders were too high. And so we added some funding and spread the money a little wider. What was also encouraging is that sustainability of the ocean was central to the applications. We have a responsibility for our oceans in this country, and it is an essential component of the Ocean Startup Project. So we asked Elder Donna Augustine to express the importance of our oceans in a few words. Let's hear from Donna.
My spirit name is Thunderbird Turtle Woman. And I'm standing here by the water, thinking about the ocean and what the ocean has gifted to us since time immemorial. Our people have been here for generations. The ocean has taken care of us. It has given us its bounty, a plenty of fish and plants from the ocean. And so now it is time that we collectively take care of our oceans. It is so, so important. Walalio. Thank you. Sabnokama.
If you take nothing away from this event other than that, please just keep that in the front of your mind and reflect on it. I've watched that 10 times, and each time I watch it and each time the team watches it, we get goosebumps because oceans are life. And as you will hear later, there's really no human life without healthy oceans, and we need to make that a focus for all of us in this sector. So folks, when we started this project in January 2020, I used to say, we're gonna make Canada the best place in the world to start, grow, and foster an ocean startup company. I have to admit, I didn't always believe what I was saying, but today, seeing the momentum and the sustainability lens of our founders, I feel very confident in saying those words, and I say them with deep conviction now. Because of the ecosystem that we are collectively building in Canada, we are going to make Canada the best place to start, foster, and grow an ocean tech company. There's lots of work still left to do, but we're making really, really great progress. So you'll see the names of 40 founders today that allow me to say that with confidence. But what you won't see today is all the founders we had to turn away, and you won't see the hundreds of ecosystem organizations that are rallying around Canada's ocean sector right now. There's really no better person to bring that point home than Kendra McDonald from Canada's Ocean Supercluster. She'll help me reinforce this point, or I'm certainly hoping she'll help me reinforce this point. So I want to welcome Kendra in now. Hi, Kendra.
Hi there.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Are you in Newfoundland today? You're almost everywhere, so.
I am in Newfoundland today.
Okay, well, great to have you. So, Kendra, thanks so much for joining us. It's a really exciting day for the Ocean Startup Project. You know, for you out there who don't know this, you founders, the Ocean Supercluster is a key partner in this initiative and obviously our largest funder as well. So, Kendra, I just gave a short speech on the momentum I see in Canada's ocean sector, and I only see a small part of it. Can you talk to us about what you're seeing from your vantage point and what excites you about the momentum, hopefully, that you're seeing as well?
Absolutely. So first of all, I mean, it's a pleasure to be here, and this is these are the events I love being a part of, where we're celebrating successes. So congratulations to everyone that participated and all of the winners. I mean, for me, I think one of the big wins is just the level of collaboration and activity. So to your comment around momentum, we are just thrilled. I think there was some skepticism around whether or not we could collaborate at the level that we were really aspiring to. And now that is one of the things that I hear over and over and over again, is just the power of collaboration, the level of collaboration, what we're seeing across the region, what we're starting to see across the country, and what we really can get farther together. And so I think we're just getting started. A lot of our projects are only a few months in, and so really excited to see some of those project outcomes. A perfect example, we had GIT, some of you may have seen in CBC Halifax today. They did their pilot with Transport Canada. They've demonstrated that they can achieve 20% fuel reduction emission that has a direct impact on emissions, and then they will test that on larger vessels as part of a supercluster project. So I mean, that's just one small example of, I think, what we can accomplish. So really excited about that. And I think the other thing is, to your comment on global leadership, I think that we are starting to think about where Canada can lead and really play an amazing role. The carbon sink conversation from a North Atlantic perspective, and certain areas of ocean technology, we're doing some work and really trying to define those so that Canada can really step up and lead and attract international talent, international investment, and international companies. So there's lots of things that get me excited, but there's a few examples.
Yeah, that's great. So I think there's two things now that I want to say we need to take away from this. I loved your comment on we are better together. And to me, that is what the Ocean Supercluster is doing so well. They're catalyzing this country to work together in the ocean sector. And we, as a small part of the Ocean Supercluster, are trying to do that in the ocean startup ecosystem. And we know that it is a collective effort that will get us to being the best place in the world to start, foster, and grow an ocean company. I want to ask you one more thing before I let you go. So our startups here at the Ocean Startup Project are generally very early stage. Is there opportunity for our founders to engage in other OSC programs outside of the Ocean Startup Project?
Yeah, so we've actually seen some fairly early stage companies that are actually running some of our projects. So, CoLab, for example, out of Newfoundland, they're a few years into their life. So I would say, see what the projects are. So you can find project descriptions on our website. You can also listen to the podcast. So if there's an area that intersects, then reach out to that team and learn more. I think that, as your idea develops and if you can pull a consortium together, you yourself can be part of a supercluster project. So just understand what the elements of a supercluster project are, but there is sort of no stage required in terms of meeting the requirements and pulling a project together. And we're seeing lots of projects that are coming from smaller companies, innovative companies, and they're bringing those ideas to some of our larger, more traditional companies. So
yeah, it's really exciting what the OSC is doing. Kendra hates when I say this, but I'm going to say it anyway. Kendra, I think, is the hardest working person in oceans, and everybody is working hard, but what Kendra and her team are doing is really, really exceptional and just wonderful leadership in our ocean space. I get to work with Melody and Melissa regularly, and they are absolutely amazing as well. So Kendra, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us today, and can't wait to see what the Supercluster does over the coming years.
And thank you for all the Startup Project is doing. We're really excited to see what comes next.
Yeah, thanks so much, Kendra. Appreciate it.
Take care.
Folks, what we are seeing is a country that is starting to work closely together across all three coasts and our interior provinces. Kendra referenced it, I've talked about it. You see it everywhere you look in the ocean sector right now. So for Canada, the Ocean Supercluster, and for the Ocean Startup Project to achieve the goal of being the best in the world to start, foster, and grow an ocean company, we need to continue to build a national ocean startup ecosystem. To hit that home, it is now time for our world premiere of our new Ocean Startup Nation video. So over to the video.
It's exciting to see the momentum in Canada's ocean innovation ecosystem right now. And the Ocean Startup Project is providing valuable resources and creating amazing connections for entrepreneurs from across the country as they address the significant opportunity to build sustainable ocean businesses. Thank you to the incredible industry mentors and entrepreneurs who are changing the way ocean business is done.
There's never been a better time to start an ocean tech venture in this country. We recognize that our ocean is changing at a rapid pace, and we really know very little about the ocean at this point in time. I think it's ripe for technology innovation and development, and whether it be in marine transportation, in fishery, in oil and gas, or what have you, there's plenty of opportunity for innovation and development.
Canada is an incredible ocean nation. And it's largely because we're surrounded by water, and we're surrounded by great people, and we're surrounded by people who want to make a habitable and sustainable world. So Canada's ocean economy and ocean sector is really vast and important. We recognize the need to make it sustainable, and we recognize the value that it brings to us as both a society and as a country.
I think Canada is the best place to start an ocean tech company because Canada's ocean community is extremely diverse in both cross-sectoral and as well as technological.
So it is kind of a perfect storm, so to say, if you're looking to scale your ocean startup. And this is where you should be looking for because the ecosystem benefits of locating to Canada are immense.
We've got such a great opportunity here in Canada with the amount of innovation that's happening. The ocean is interconnected, so whether it's the Pacific, the Atlantic, the Arctic, or the Baltic Sea, it's such an international environment.
Over 40% of the research that happens at Memorial is ocean-related. So partnering with the Ocean Startup Project in creating a program like Lab to Market Oceans is key to help support the growth of new startups in the ocean sector.
OSP's mentorship actually enabled us to refine and establish our idea in a more clear and concise manner, not only for our prospective clients, but our prospective collaborators as well. In fact, it has made us aware and appreciate the finer elements of business that we previously overlooked.
The mentorship I've received from programs like OSP has given me a little push when I needed it, and pushed me outside of what I might be comfortable doing otherwise.
Canada's coastlines are large, but our ocean tech community is quite small in comparison. This intimate size has allowed for many startups to springboard their ideas into real businesses. There's an energy and positivity within the startup ecosystem where people are champions and promoters of technology that are beyond their own business interests.
L'importance d'interagir, de se parler, de monter des nouveaux projets ensemble, et on a plein d'exemples au Québec, mais on en a aussi en collaboration avec les provinces canadiennes qui, je le précise, ont toute leur expertise et leurs saveurs différentes en matière de marin.
We have built a support network around us that has been critical to us reaching milestones and gaining a little bit of traction. And it seems like everyone we've met on the East and West Coast involved in the seaweed industry is interested in creating an optimistic future for the ocean and being a part of growing the blue economy here in Canada.
Millions of people, whether it's directly or indirectly, derive their livelihood from the ocean, and so it's really important, a really important resource that we have to safeguard and protect for future generations.
Investment in Canada's ocean economy is not going to stop because we need it to continue. So companies looking to come here to create jobs, to create a new solution, to find a way to engage with this community so that we can grow globally is really important and impactful. And we have lots of connections and lots of groups that are here designed to just help those companies grow and sustain.
We have a lot of ocean science and tech companies coming up with new technologies and innovation in combating climate change, including areas low carbon shipping, ocean renewable and wind energy, sensor technology and acoustics, ocean data and measurement, ocean food products, and marine robotics and automation. We also have the Center of Ocean Applied Sustainable Technologies, which is going to be our Marine Innovation Center on the West Coast and a focal point for the efforts of all these innovative companies.
About 25 to 30% of the companies that have come through the doors of Genesis have been in the ocean technology space. So it's one that we believed in wholeheartedly, and we believe it's a very, very important space for Canada, and one that we're very happy to be a part of.
Lab to Market Oceans and the other initiatives that the Ocean Startup Project are leading are key to continue to keep our region at the forefront of ocean innovation in Canada and the world.
You'll be amazed to see how much opportunities and support is out there to actually help you guys succeed and grow. So what are you waiting for? Take the leap of faith.
Works in this project on a day-to-day basis. I couldn't be more proud of what I'm seeing in that video. It really highlights the representation that we have across this country. In there you saw Alex Rubin out of British Columbia, Derek Pizzoli, a founder out of British Columbia. You have Noémie Giguère from Quebec. You have all of our people from Atlantic Canada as well. it's really, really becoming a national project. And in that regard, what we're going to do from the Ocean Startup Project's perspective is we're going to put 2 new FTEs in British Columbia and 1 in Quebec in 2022. Again, the OSP is a catalyst in the startup ecosystem, but it is all of the established organizations, founders, and industry leaders stepping up in this space that will make the ocean sector thrive. And what you saw in that video is a very small sample of founders, mentors, and ecosystem organizations. Folks, let's get to the really important stuff and what so many of the people on this call are waiting for, and let's get to some awards. So, I'm going to deal with the earliest stage, the idea stage, and I want to remind everyone that the idea stage is truly that. These are companies that have innovative ideas, but don't yet have proven market interest. Because of that, we sought out strong and passionate founders in our applications and our judging process. We're going to fund 26 idea stage companies. These are generally net new to our ecosystem, and they are companies to watch. So folks, here is a rolling video of our winners in the idea stage for 2021, and we could not be more excited about it. Well, that is probably the fastest awards list you could ever imagine. There are so many great companies. Check out our website, check out social media. We will list all of those founders and you will get to see them. We would love to highlight today every one of those companies, but we settled on 4 for this event. And right now, I want to welcome in 4 of those founders of those companies that you saw. We have Fareshta, Barry, Brandon, and Sabrina, and we're going to have a really quick discussion. And Fareshta, I'm going to start with you. You've come through this project, you've been a part of this project for a little while now because you did Lab to Market. Can you quickly tell us a little bit about X-Tech MIP and your journey to getting to this award?
Yeah, hello everyone. I'm very happy to be one of the finalists of the Idea Stream in Ocean Startup Challenge. My name is Fareshta and I'm a PhD student in analytical chemistry from Memorial University, and I'm the CEO of X-Tech MIP. X-Tech MIP is a company, a startup that produces a PSP device, which the name of our product actually is a lab consumable that saves time and energy for environmental analytical labs that they want to analyze water samples. Actually, in the market now, in TIC companies' lab, they analyze the water samples by using a very old-fashioned method, which is from 90s, and analysts have faced many problems when they're using this method. But with our product and its associated method, they can save time by 2 times, and this method can reduce the solvent consumption, which is really important for the environment and the sustainability, by 900 times, and can save them money by 10 times. Actually, in this journey, I started Lab to Market from fall 2020, and it was a really great point for me to start because I was kind of like really, I'm not sure about the future of my company, but I learned a lot about customer discovery during Lab to Market, and that was a really great point for me to be really optimistic about the future of my company. And now I'm here, and I have lots of plans for just moving forward and make X-Tech MIP successful in the near future.
So much. And And folks, Forestia is one of those rising stars in our cohort. We are so excited to have her, and we are excited to see that this continuum is working. Lab to market, into the Ocean Startup Challenge, and hopefully the next step is CDL for somebody like Forestia and XTEP MIP. Thank you so much, Forestia. Just so great to have you here. I'm going to move on to Barry. Barry, I want to first start by congratulating you on your permanent residency. It's great to have you, and we're really excited to have smart, thoughtful people moving to Canada and starting companies. Talk to us a little bit about AIMSR and why you decided to try and do this in Canada.
Hi, Don. Thanks very much. It's obviously great to be here and great to have the award. I came here originally, actually the first time I stepped foot in Canada, I was working on a ship sailing through the Narrows in St. John's. So when I immigrated here from Ireland a few years later, the maritime industry and the ocean sector played quite a big role in my decision. As you said, I recently got permanent residency, and that has given me the stability to pursue my project here and develop the company in Canada. This has allowed me to tap into the considerable resources of the ocean sector here, such as the Ocean Startup Project. It's quite important for the company to be based here for a few reasons. Not only is Canada a well-connected maritime hub, and I hope to retrofit vessels with automatic weather stations to collect weather data from our oceans with the goal of improving our weather forecast accuracy, but also the meteorological area around Canada is very important with the weather systems that develop here traveling across the Northern Hemisphere. So the meteorological data, which can be collected off the Canadian coast and further out to sea, will have an important impact on improving weather forecast accuracy throughout the Northern Hemisphere, particularly as the effects of climate change become more evident. So it's a really exciting place to be. It's really exciting to be part of the Ocean Startup Challenge here and building the company here. It's the perfect place to be.
Barry, a couple of things. So great to have you. We're thrilled you're here. If you, as an Atlantic Canadian, if you can figure out how to get more accurate weather forecasts here in Atlantic Canada, where the weather changes by the minute, it would be one of the great accomplishments you could ever have, and one of the great accomplishments for the Ocean Startup Project. Thanks, Barry. Really appreciate it. Brandon, I'm coming to you. Brandon, you are the only sibling duo team in this cohort that I know of. You and your brother are just beyond brilliant researchers and lab technicians. Tell us a little bit about GC Lipids and what you hope the OSP will provide to GC Lipids outside of the lab.
Absolutely. Thank you, Donald. It's a pleasure and it's an honor to be here today. I'm very happy about the award and the outcome and to be part of just this community in general. So as Donald said, my name is Brandon. I'm a co-founder at GC Lipid Technologies, where we are using microalgae as a platform to sustainably produce key nutrients that are required in fish feed. Currently, the aquaculture industry is seeing a downturn on forage fish populations. It's estimated by 2037 to have a permanent depletion. And our solution aims to solve that by removing the ecological pressures of using forage fish as a source of feed. And honestly, so far with the people that we've been speaking to, the people that we've been in contact and exposed to, I could already see how enthusiastic our community is at saving the ocean and doing some sort of positive impact, whether it's from any sort of angle. So as Donald mentioned, my brother and I were co-founders and our backgrounds are in synthetic biology. So we're very heavy on the technical side. And what we're hoping for the OSP to help us with is the business development, the viability behind our technology, studying that and making sure that once it's ready for market launch, we've covered all our grounds and de-risked it as much as possible in conjunction with you guys.
No, it's awesome, Brandon. It's one of the interesting parts of this job for me. It's a very humbling part of the job. Is you've just heard from 3 people, you're going to hear from a 4th, who are all brilliant and doing really, really remarkable things, most of which I never can understand. So Sabrina, I am coming to you. You have such a deep understanding of the problem Wyatt is trying to solve. Can you tell us a little bit about Wyatt and what made you take the leap to entrepreneurship at this stage of your career?
Well, my entry into the fishing industry started back in the late 1990s when I started fishing with my dad and his brothers, my uncles, on the northern peninsula of Newfoundland and Labrador, a small community called St. Carol's. For the past 20 years, I've owned my own fishing enterprise. So it is my 2 decades of experience and sometimes frustration that has led me to this stage of my career to get into developing innovative technologies. So my idea to develop an app for fish harvesters that allows us to go paperless and to also create an app that can integrate with the several regulatory systems that we have to deal with every season will really help not just the environment, but the very short window that fish harvesters have to get ready from the time quotas are announced to the time we head out to the oceans. There's a small window with an incredible amount of documentation and redundancy in filling out paperwork that's required to have on our vessels. Myself this year, I counted, I'm in almost 200 pages of, I think, hopefully unnecessary once this app, if this app succeeds. So obviously that is my experience that inspired, to want to create a solution, but often I think historically fish harvesters have felt disempowered and unheard sometimes. And I think because of my position as a harvester, throughout the process of developing this idea, I can make sure that the voice of the harvester is heard loud and clear and the needs of the harvester are met. So when using this app, the fish harvesters will feel very empowered, and that's my ultimate goal. So thank you so much.
It's awesome. There's one thing I want to change in what you said there, and you said if this app succeeds. I want you to change that to when this app succeeds, and hopefully
that's right. When that's right.
That is a big piece of this. Sabrina is another example, though, of what we're trying to do in this project, folks. We have so many people who have deep roots in the ocean that may not necessarily want to follow their parents' footsteps or their historical footsteps. We want people to know that there's opportunities to do stuff in the ocean sector that may not be exactly the traditional way that they grew up, but that knowledge, that talent, we really, really want to harvest that and bottle that into new ocean companies here. Folks, I could talk to you all day. I wish I could talk to you all day, but really, really appreciate you coming on and doing this with us. There'll be lots of other opportunities for us to highlight what you folks are doing, but congratulations and thank you so much for being part of the Ocean Startup Project. Thanks, everybody. Now, folks, I want to bring in Eric Siegel. Eric is our executive in residence. He is a wealth of knowledge, having spent 15 plus years in industry all over the world, and we are just so lucky to have him as part of this project. He is a brilliant guy, but more importantly, he's probably one of the nicest guys I've had the good fortune of meeting along this journey. So, Eric, I want to just start by asking you, we've talked a lot about the ocean sector. You've worked in this sector for a long time. You've taken the leap to come to this project because you want to build this ocean sector in Canada. How excited are you with what you're seeing in Canada right now in the ocean sector?
Yeah, Don, I'm probably one of the most excited people to focus on the commercialization of science and technology for oceans. And it was so inspiring to see the proposals coming from all across Canada and internationally, focusing on projects relating to really interesting technology and innovation, and focused on so many different areas of the market sector here.
Yeah, it's just so great to be a part of this, isn't it? Like I say all the time, like I have one of the best jobs around. I get to work with, talented, smart people like those 4 we just saw, like you. But now we're going to have the opportunity to do it with 40. It really is fantastic to be a part of this, isn't it?
Yeah, we just came off of a networking call, and the kind of breadth of experience and ideas we hear is just mind-boggling. We heard about synthetic muscle fibers using to create ocean energy, and the collapse of the Peruvian anchovy field, and how that's requiring new feed for aquaculture. Just the things we hear every day are so fascinating.
Folks, other than the person who mentioned the Peruvian, what was it, Peruvian?
Anchovies.
Anchovies. I bet you didn't think you were going to hear about Peruvian anchovies today. Eric, let's get on to the growth section. Talk to us a little bit about the growth teams and our finalists.
It was very inspiring reading all of the growth stage proposals. We saw exceptional proposals from all over Canada and internationally, and they're bringing technology from other sectors and bringing it into the ocean. The founders are generally deeply passionate about their mission, and they're really focused on creating commercial companies to make a positive impact on the ocean. So we've accepted 13 companies into our growth cohort. These companies are still very much at the early startup stages, but they have a good understanding of their customers' needs, how they plan to create their value, and they have made good progress on the development of their technology.
Yeah, it's really exciting. Some of these are teams that we've been with now for a year. They were part of our initial cohort, and they're getting funded in this growth sector, but still very, very early stage. Let's take a look. Let's roll the video on the team, the 13 companies that have won in the growth sector. Jeepers.
So those are the 13 companies. I'm really excited to start working with all of them. And let's meet 4 of those founders now. Hi, everyone. Maya, you're from Nova Institute. And can you tell us a little bit about your company and how the funding might help you get more into the ocean market, please?
Yes, hi. So my name is Maya Meher. I'm the CEO of Nova Institute, and we have developed multi-generators that harvest energy from ocean so that we can help marine industries reduce their reliance on fossil fuels. Now, we are new to the ocean sector, so we're very excited about this award. It will help us to conduct our real life pilot tests, and more importantly, we are looking for connections in the ocean economy, and that is where the mentorship and advisory of the OSP will be a huge help for us. So we're very grateful to be part of this cohort, and very excited for the time that is coming now.
Well, welcome, Maya. We're equally excited to have you here, and we are hoping that the connectivity we can bring you from where you are to the rest of the oceans will really help Nova Institute. And Damon, I'm coming to you now. I want to hear a little bit more about A2O Advanced Materials, and tell us how your company and what type of partnerships you're hoping to develop from coast to coast to coast to really get your company moving.
Sure. So yeah, thanks a lot, Eric. Really excited to be here, and excited to hear about all the amazing ventures that are going on. It's really inspiring to see all the energy and ambition that's being brought today. So really fired up to get out there. So we're A2O Advanced Materials. We're a startup that's on the west coast of Canada. We're developing new eco-friendly marine coatings for starting with recreational boats, and our ultimate goal is to service all vessels in the water to promote maximum performance with no contribution to marine pollution. What we're really excited about for the Ocean Startup Project is, of course, the ability that there's this amazing network that's being brought together. We're a West Coast team, but we're really excited to be working with different companies and potential partners in Atlantic Canada and Central Canada for us to advance some of our pilot projects. We're also really just looking into to tap into expertise and specifically looking for, building our team as we develop this technology. And looking also to as a technology where we're looking to develop materials, we're looking always for other translational opportunities or kind of tangents that we can get involved in. So if anyone has any material challenges, let me know. So thanks a lot, Eric.
Thanks, Damon. I think the success of your company will be a real testament to show that your customers and the planet can win from you being successful. So we're really excited about that. Jennifer Ivins, I want to go to you and CanScan. Please tell us about CanScan. It's a really exciting technology and market opportunity. But I also want to hear about your journey from leaving a real job to solve problems that you really understood deeply and just couldn't ignore.
Yeah, thank you so much. I just want to start by saying we're so excited at our team for being part of this great group of finalists. Everybody here just jumped for joy when we got the news. So I'm the CEO of CanScan. My name is Jennifer Ivins. What's kind of unique about the fact that I'm here today is that I run an artificial intelligence company for the supply chain, and yet I have no educational background in AI. Nor do I have any educational background in the supply chain. I actually have a master's degree in anthropology. So for any aspiring entrepreneur out there, anything is possible if you put your heart and your soul into your venture. So what I ended up doing is I actually out of university found a job working for an ocean carrier, and I decided I just loved it. I just never looked back. Supply chain was going to be, the rest of my life. And somewhat like Sabrina said earlier, I found a couple of things that really irritated me, problems that just never seemed to get solved. And it just kept building and building until I decided, okay, enough is enough. And I'm going to fix this problem by starting this company. So at CanScan, what we do, it's a very simple concept, but it took us a while to figure it out. We do damage detection for shipping containers using artificial intelligence and images. So we're trying to prevent the loss of commodities while they're being transported, and we're trying to reduce the amount of workplace accidents that happen because of container damages. And what we're really hoping to achieve being part of this group, very much like the other finalists, we're looking for partners. We're looking for companies that could use this technology to better the supply chain. We're looking for long-term pilot projects. And I'm sure just like, everybody else here, maybe nobody's saying it, but we're always looking for funding to keep us growing and evolving as a company.
We're looking out the window here at the Port of Halifax, and we can see so many containers coming and going, and we know there are also massively larger ports. So what you're doing is really a big deal, and we're excited to help you make it successful. And Beth Mason from Skaldar, you have deep, deep experience in the bioresources space, the technology, and the commercialization. Tell us about how you hope this program can help you with the scale-up, the leadership, and really where you hope to be in a couple of years.
Yeah, thanks very much, and great to see everybody. We're kind of a pilot already. This all started many years ago on the West Coast, where the focus was on marine co-products from aquaculture. And it's shifted out here, and in the interim, I think, like one of our other speakers, I ended up with another job, and that delays everything. But in the process, we managed to reach our pilot scale and engage with clients, and are also now, working with potential investors. And I think that being part of the ecosystem is great in terms of how we navigate that next step from pilot to first commercial plant, and the investors and the angel investment community here on the East Coast is getting stronger all the time. And so I think the opportunities for all the groups here are endless. So that's the piece, I think, for us that I think is the really exciting next step is there's all the technical, and now there's the investment side of things. So again, like I would just say, the opportunity is great.
Thanks, Beth. And we're really looking forward to putting a good team around you and the Skaldar so that you can achieve those successes. Excellent. Thank you all very much. We look forward to working with you and all the others in the growth stream. So we're into our special awards section, which we're very, very excited about. And the opportunities in the ocean are enormous, and there's room for everyone. we don't need to worry about dividing the pie amongst a few. We can help all the outstanding founders be successful. And we want to do this now by recognizing 3 of our most dynamic founders from our new cohort. I'd like to welcome back here Keir Portress to speak about the importance of honoring excellence in founders who are Indigenous, and he will present the Indigenous Entrepreneur Award.
Yes, thank you. It's my honor to present this award. I think it's, Indigenous people are the original entrepreneurs, and many Indigenous professionals are in high demand. As an Indigenous professional myself, and an entrepreneur that, I've seen other Indigenous people in this space need to be multifaceted, need to have a really strong base, both technically, but also a base in who they are personally. And often what I see with a lot of professionals in this space and entrepreneurs is a strong community focus that allows them to do really innovative and really cool things. Having that base in who they are and having that vision on what they're doing and why they're doing it is really important. And they've been able to, Indigenous entrepreneurs have been able to do some really great things by bringing people together. This year's recipient is a Nunavut Inuk woman with more than 35 years of professional experience, spanning business, politics, and nonprofits. She has an educational background in law, but has been involved in guiding many initiatives and organizations, as well as being part of many businesses and different startups and stuff like that. To give you an idea of what some of those organizations and initiatives are, is she's an advisor to the Canadian Nuclear Laboratories. She's the chair of the Nunavut Legal Services. She's a board member of the National Consortium of Indigenous Economic Development at the Gustafson School of Business at the University of Victoria. She's a co-founder of the Ottawa Inuit Head Start. And these are just a few. Once you start doing a little bit more research on her and looking at her history, this is just the tip of the iceberg. Most recently, and the involvement in OSP is to recognize her most recent success by creating 3,000 kilometers of a versatile fiber optic network that will service the North. This will provide not only internet access, but other access to sensors and really open, I think, the North up to telecommunications in a way that it hasn't been before. So I invite everyone to join me in congratulating the founder and CEO of Sedna Link Smart Marine Systems, Madeline Redford.
Thank you so much. So I'm very, very pleased to acknowledge the work that we're doing as a team to bring Sedna Link Marine Systems into our northern Canadian region. Our goal is to help ensure that Inuit are able to fully participate in the evolving Arctic marine technology sector. These awards will help with the important work that we're doing to make the fiber optic network a smart cable. SMART stands for science, monitoring, and reliable telecommunications. We know that climate change is real. We're living it. The changes are happening faster here than anywhere else. We also know that there's a lack of data, especially in the Arctic marine environment. Communications and data is absolutely necessary for evidence-based decision-making, and Sedna Link Marine Systems will not only help our Inuit communities, our northern regions, and our country, Canada, with respect to environmental monitoring, marine protection, helping to develop and expand the blue economy, and to help support Canada's NORAD, which is our Northern Early Warning Distance Systems modernization, and to help, most importantly, Indigenous economic reconciliation. So on behalf of myself and those that are working hard to make Sedna Link a reality, thank you.
Madeline, I know that the review committee during your interview and your pitch were just so impressed with your vision, your leadership, and you as a person. And we're really excited to have you on board. And I think we're all going to learn as much from you